Hello, hello, hello. Hey, friends, if you're here watching this replay, thank you so much for being here, for stopping by. My name is Svava Brooks, and I am a trauma recovery coach. And if you're curious about some of the services that I offer, please visit my website, svavabrooks.com. I love to empower survivors after trauma, abuse, and neglect with all the tools that they need to heal and restore, because I do believe, my friends, that we come fully equipped already with all the things that we need to heal and thrive. So if you're here with me live right here, right now, please say hello. Please let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. Look forward to being here with you as we dig into our book today, one day at a time. But if you're here and like to join the conversation, we'd love to have you. Come as you are. If you have any questions about healing, we are so glad that you're here, and we're going to do our best to answer. Do our best to answer. And if we don't know the answer, as a community, we will do our best to find the resources or point you in the right direction. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Lady Leo. Hey, Elizabeth. How are you, friend? Hey, Sue. Yes, I made it. YouTube was doing a little bit of a spinning thing today. So took a few times. And hey, Sue, how are you? Sue S. Look at you guys. I'm loving all the emojis here, hearts and flowers. So if we start there, how are we doing? How are you guys doing? I don't know if it's you or me, guys, but I'm seeing the signal is a little choppy here. I'm seeing people are dropping off and coming back in. So anyways, YouTube was giving me a hard time coming on here today. So how are we doing? It's been a whole week since we were here last, and can you believe it? It's October. All right, EJ, not choppy for you. All right, good to hear it. Okay, there. All right. Thanks, friends. Thanks for the heads up. But how are we doing? How are we doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. You thought there were no more streams. I'm sorry. The last few weeks, I've had my group TRE classes fall on Tuesday. And so basically, as I'm taking care of this body, and the bandwidth that I used to have was way here, my bandwidth has shrunk a little bit with all the chaos in the world. So I've had to scale back a little bit, like all of you, right, Lady Leo? Take a break from Facebook, and the system has calmed down a little bit. Me too, taking a break from certain outlets, social media. It helps. It helps. But this round of TRE is done for now. So I am hoping that we will be back to our usual schedule, Tuesday and Thursday, for the month of October. So, and I usually try to post in our group, but as life happens right now, I do my best to keep you guys posted. So, but you can always shoot me a note and ask. So, hey, Rachel. Hey, the whole gang is here. Hey, Rob. EJ's here. Rob, did I miss anybody? Did Sharon sneak in here? I haven't seen her. Please let me know if I missed anyone. So good to see everyone. It was so good to see you, Rob. the video you took on your walk. Just seeing your face makes me smile. So, and if there is background noise here around me, bear with me. I usually turn it off, but my my dryer is going. And I left the back door open for some fresh air. So who knows? We might get some disturbances. So good to be with you all. So a little check-in. Are we doing okay? It's good to see you, Elizabeth. You were interrupted by a drunk Polish friend. No worries. No worries, my friend. I hope you're okay and glad you were here. Glad you're here and hope you're okay. So again, I'd love to hear from you guys. How are we holding up? How are you guys doing? I don't know if you guys have lots of places where you can go and be real and be honest. This is one of those, right? This is a safe place. Come as you are. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm pissed off, sick of being used by my mother. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Sorry, my friend. EJ says, I'm on the edge. I'm sorry, EJ. Sorry to hear that, my friend. I'm feeling ya. I'm feeling ya. So I'm actually feeling like maybe we should start with a little vagus nerve warm up. Struggling with feeling of sadness, says Rachel. Yes, Rachel, I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. It's 106 where Sue S is. I hope you're safe. I hope you're okay. I hope you're nowhere near those fires. I think you're in Orange County, and I don't think there are any fires there. But so much going on. So much going on in our world. So we are all, right, doing our best. EJ says, you got frost warnings for tonight. Well, that's a big shift, isn't it? Winter coming. Winter's coming. Knock on wood, says Sue. That's right. That's right. So here, my friends, you can see I'm running my hands here down my shoulders and down my arms. Just bringing a little bit of warmth to this body and tapping the part of our nervous system that activates the social engagement, the rest and digest. So just tapping it a little bit, right? Because we know that's all here, our chest, the top of our neck. So just notice how you're holding yourself. You press the wrong button, says Sue. Just notice. Let's just roll our shoulders a little bit. Oh, I just cracked my neck. Stretch our necks. Right? When we stretch these muscles right here, it actually signals to the mind we can relax, right? When we get stressed out, the shoulders go up and we can intervene on the interpretation of the messages from the body to the mind by, okay, let's Drop those shoulders and push them back. Right, friends? Remember, your story follows your state, right? 80%. What happens in here is the messages from the body to the mind, and it's 20% from the here and down. So much of that has to do with how we're feeling actually is signaling from our body. I know, sometimes that's not a good thing. But once we, right, become aware of it, intervene a little bit. So just notice. Those are the list of the tools that I'm using right now. Constantly, all the different tools. I'm coming to the body, come to the body, come to the body, come to the body, you know? So moving the body moves our energy. Moving the body and moving the energy shifts how we feel. So just notice if you're playing along, if your energy shifts a little bit. And another really powerful and a simple one. I'm going to look over my shoulder here. I'm stretching my upper part of my body all the way from my right hip up to my left shoulder. Looking over my shoulder here. And I come back to the center here. I'm going to look down. I'm stretching the back of my neck here. And then I'm going to look up, stretching the front of my neck, and can feel the stretch down in my chest. And then I'm doing the same here, looking over my left shoulder, feeling that stretch all the way from my shoulder to the hip. And then I come back to the middle here. And I'm going to look up. And then taking a deep breath. Yeah, works every time. Even though I don't feel like I'm tense, even though I don't feel right, every time when I do either this one or the butterfly hug or the squeeze, I can just feel there's a little drop, right, Sue? It helped. Feels good to move. Yes, it feels good to move. And this particular stretch right here, we actually are pulling the front of our hips, which is where our psoas muscle is connected. And when our body automatically responds to stress, it's always down there in our hips that muscle contracts, right, and pulls us forward. So the more we can be intentional about, right, and then, right, it moves up our back, and then we are curling forward as a result of what started, you know, in our lower back psoas, and then that pulls us up. So yes, and this took what, less than a minute, 2 minutes maybe. So often when we think, oh, I don't have time to do self-care, I don't have time to relax, I don't have time to meditate, we have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. And each time we do a little bit of this, it adds up, right, over time. And we are exercising our ventral vagal part of our nervous system that helps us to engage and connect. So Happy if that helped you just a little bit. Like I said, I am doing a lot of these. That's right, Elizabeth. Right? Exactly. That's also interesting, right? If we don't know how we're doing, check in on your body. How am I feeling? Hand on your heart, hand on your stomach, dropping inside, take a few breaths. And sometimes just coming and being with the body is enough, right? We are pushing our bodies. We are pushing through the discomfort. We are pushing through this uncertainty, right? We're constantly pushing ourselves. Oh, we can take a minute just to be here with the body. Hey, sweet body, how are you doing? There's a lot going on. This is hard. A lot of sadness, a lot of anxiety, feeling powerless, feeling stuck, feeling worried. And it's all that the body is feeling. It isn't the head feeling it. It's the body feeling and the head interprets. Good, Sue. I am glad, right, that felt good. Make a note of it. Make those connections. Huh, that felt good. Something shifted, even if it was just a teeny tiny little bit of opening. That's all we need to get the light through or the energy through. So beautiful. Well, today, my friends, the topic of discussion is trust. Does look like I had a couple of people just add in here. Is that correct? Did someone just go in and add a comment? I'm going to refresh the Facebook group here. But today we are talking about trust, right? Because of abuse, neglect in childhood, not getting our needs met from our caregivers, we have a hard time trusting. We have a hard time trusting. And for many of us, if we were abused by our caregivers, it's betrayal, right? It feels like a betrayal. And so when we grow up with not knowing how to trust the people closest to us, we expect the worst from our partners, right? So the two questions today, how hard is it for you to trust other people? Not just our partners, a lot of people. Because the thing is, if we're raised in a home where there is trust, there is predictability, right? There is routine, there is structure, there's emotionally available and stable caregivers, then we know that we can rely on people and people are reliable to us. And so also when we were having upset, we found someone to reliably support us. And so that's where we, learn to trust ourselves, that someone heard my feelings, someone validated my experience, someone recognized my struggle, right? Someone apologized if they hurt me. So when a lot of us didn't have those things, it's very hard for us, right, to both trust other people and also because it's hard for us to trust ourselves. Our inner experience weren't validated. Makes sense. So how hard is it for you to trust other people, I asked today. And the other question was, what are you afraid of when your partner is concerned? And then I also want to add here, how are you doing with learning to trust yourself? And And the reason I want to ask this, because I know, again, a lot of this, because we live disconnected from our bodies for so long. We don't know what to do with the experiences and the upset and the big feelings that we carry in our bodies, that we don't know how to trust ourselves. And so my train of thought just kind of left here. So, but I'm curious. Yes, that's what I was going to say. And I used to remember that, especially my partner, when he would say, I feel like I can't trust you. And I would be so hurt by it. I would be really devastated. Like somehow I, had done something horrible or was a bad person or whatever. And of course, it fed into my fears about, my shame and all the responsibility I felt for, the abuse that I had lived through. But then as I healed and got in touch with the truth for myself and my feelings, and, recognizing, who am I? What I'm not the things that happened to me. I'm not those bad feelings. I'm not like the people that hurt me. I'm a good, kind, generous person, right? So once I learned to trust myself, and again, then become comfortable with being in my body and with my feelings, that when my partner would say, like, I can't trust you, I would be like, that's too bad, because I know that I'm trustworthy. I know that I'm trustworthy. The fact that you don't trust me, that isn't my fault. That isn't my issue. So it was very freeing. So, right, to recognize I am a trustworthy person. And slowly, over time, I learned to trust myself, right? And to know what people say about me is their opinion. I know who I am. Let's see here, catching up on your comments. Let's see here. To S, I don't even trust myself. I hear you, Sue S. I hear you. Rob says, I didn't know trust could be so powerful. It's interesting that some things requiring vulnerability become a strength. Yes, Rob. I was feeling hurt. I wrote a monologue about it. All right, Elizabeth. Okay. EJ, I said, how, now you guys have to remind me, how did I word it? Like, how do you trust yourself, or do you trust yourself? Right? I hear you. I hear you, Sue. I hear you. Very slow process, learning to trust myself. Yes, Sue. Yes. I hear you, my friend. I hear you, friends. I'm not saying, right, that it's easy. And the hardest part is when we maybe realize that, oh, wait a minute, I am looking out for someone to trust, but maybe I'm not even trusting myself. So, EJ, the questions is, how hard is it for you to trust other people? And what are you afraid of where your partner is concerned? And then the last one was that I asked, how do you, your trust for yourself? How do you trust yourself? So I did pull up an article by, you guys know how I'm such a big fan of Dr. Margaret Paul, the inner bonding guru, the inner child work. And so, and the thing is, like I mentioned, because we grew up with caregivers that didn't support us in honoring our feelings, right? We were often told what we felt and what we experienced. If we had controlling parents or caregivers, or parents and caregivers that, nobody was home. So, right. And our parents, right, they didn't validate our feelings or our perceptions. And I love one of the examples that she puts up here. It's like an example. And, I was guilty of this too. I was very controlling of my daughters when they were babies, and often put on them, my perception. And here's a perfect example. A mother would say, put on a jacket, it's cold outside. And the child would say, I am not cold. And then the mom says, well, you're just a child. What do you know? Put on the jacket. Right? And another scenario where, of course, this rubs all of us the wrong way, or many of us. And this, I sometimes use examples like this when I was doing child abuse prevention education. Like a parent would say, go give your aunt a kiss, or grandma or uncle. And the child would say, no, uncle so-and-so or grandma so-and-so is creepy. And then the mother would say, of course you like them. Now go ahead and give them a kiss, give them a hug. What are we teaching? We are overriding the child's feelings and perceptions. Or a child would say, my teacher's really mean to me. And father or mother would say, I'm sure your teacher is very nice. The teacher means well. What did you do? What did you do to upset your teacher? Right? So after a while, we learn to discount and mistrust our feelings and our perceptions. And we learn to give our authority away to parents and other adults, deciding that others must know more about what we feel, want, and perceive than we do. So we abandon our inner knowing and we stop trusting ourselves. And here's the hardest part. And this is, again, where sometimes this can definitely bring up some feelings for us when we realize, wait a minute, the person here that I don't trust is myself, right? And then when we don't listen to ourselves, we kind of betray and abandon ourselves. And that is sad when we do that. Right? We don't listen to ourselves. And again, this is where I am such a big fan of working with our bodies, because our bodies is going, hoo, 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 hoo. Our gut feeling, the messages are coming up, but we have learned to discount, repress, avoid, distract, resist. Yes, I know. I hear you. I hear you, EJ. I hear you, my friend. But the good news is we can learn, my friends. And for you guys, few of you have been through my TRE classes. And when I tell people, right, we activate the tremors in the body, and then we practice self-regulation, meaning we're activating the tremors and then we stop. We activate and then we stop them. And it's so important that, right, we stop. And then I ask people, really listen to your body. Really listen. Was this enough for today? Can you feel into your body? Was this enough, right? Tremoring for today? Or does your body want more? I mean, there's no judgment either way. But then I also tell them, listen, because the most courageous thing we will ever do is to stand by and with ourselves and what we need and want. Even if it's just to say, okay, everybody else wants to do it, but I don't. I'm just, my gut, my body is telling me, nope, this is good. This is good for me. I'm done now. And I can tell you, it was just, like I said, wrapping up 2 groups this Tuesday. And I always, at the end of the class, ask people, so what's your biggest takeaway? And overwhelmingly, people say, I'm finally learning to listen to my body. And even one person said, I feel like I'm allowed to listen to my body. Like, she was in tears. So, my friends, I know I'm like a broken record about working with your bodies. And I do it for a reason, because I had done tons of work, all the other healing work. But it wasn't until I started working with the body. Yes, the scary stuff. I avoided working with the body too for a long time, until I was so tired of the knee-jerk reactions and the same old patterns. And so there was something in me that was just like, okay, I'm gonna face this. I don't care what it's gonna take. And my body was like, okay, let's do this. And when I finally started listening to my body, it's like the pieces started falling into place. So, and I'm sharing that from the place of hope. If this body can slow down and relax and listen, then there is hope for everyone. Because, like so many of you have heard me say, I was the ice queen. I was a control freak, perfectionistic. I don't want to finish that sentence, but I was driving people crazy. Ugh. But I can also have compassion for myself, and I can make light of it now. It's okay. It's okay. You did a good job. You were doing the best you can. So, Sue, I would love to hear your light bulb moment if you would like to share with us. EJ, I'm with you. I needed a broken record too. So, because this mind was like, nope, 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 until I had to hear it again. I had to hear it again. I had to hear it again. And that's my middle name. I'm Relentless. So I'm your girl. You need something, need me to tell you, I'm here for you. Right? Feelings invalidated as a child, suppressed feelings. Yep, I hear you, Elizabeth. Rachel, I had a traumatic moment earlier this week and my legs started trembling, so I let them continue and it was a teary moment. It felt good. Yes, yes. Good for you. Right? Because when your body tremors, it isn't because it's scared or it's not experiencing trauma. It's coming out of trauma. It's actually releasing it to come back alive from the, right? This is what happens during the trauma. When we tremor, we're coming out of it. We're coming back alive, reconnecting to the energy source flow that flows through us. Good for you, Rachel. Yes, it's awesome. all our bodies, we should all be wearing a cape, right? Yes, Rachel, and just do it a few minutes. Just a few minutes. A little bit right here and there. It makes a difference over time. Hey, Lady Leo, I'm sorry that I was so loud that I woke you up. So sorry, Lady Leo. Sue Asa just triggered an experience I had regarding this. I now understand my reaction and how I denied myself my truth. Hey, sweet friend, Sue, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's good. Sometimes it's hard to put those pieces together, right? It's hard, but it's good. It helps you to understand, right? Now you understand your reaction and how we denied our most authentic self because we didn't know. So I'm so glad that this found you here today. Well, Lady Leo, since you're here, maybe I'll share your comment. I haven't even gotten to the Facebook page. So Lady Leo said here in her comments to the questions today, she says, although I still struggle with trusting others currently, it is better than it was a few years ago. My ability to trust now is more based on listening to my present self, opposed to hearing voices of the past. I'm discovering the more I learn to trust myself, the easier it is to trust others. Yes, exactly. Beautiful, my friend. She goes on to say, I don't currently have a partner. However, as it relates to the people in my life I hold dear, my biggest fear is losing the relationship. Not as frequent today as in the past, but I am fearful that the negative beliefs I have about who I am is what they see, and of course, they will walk away. But I believe the first step to releasing that fear is acknowledgement of the fear, and that helps me to stay focused on my reality. Yes, Lady Leo, because that fear, remember, is a liar. That fear is a liar, right? It's not true. Not true. But those stories that we have sure are powerful. You are funny. I'm so sorry, Sue. No, you did not deserve what happened. Oh, both the Sues. Yes, I'm sorry for both of you. So sorry, Sue. And this is again where that inner work is, it's powerful, right? Is that when we can hear, like Lady Leo just shared with us, the fear, what's the story that the fear has? Like, can you write it down? And I know sometimes when the spinning is happening so fast, we can't even catch the words. It's just wah, 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 wah. And it's just, it's brutal. It's just like you're just doing this. Ugh. Like I used to just hear my stepfather's voice and I would just turn inward like that and I wouldn't even hear what was being said. There you go, right? So then, right, and then we follow it backwards, right? Who said those words? How long have you felt that way? And if you were just a child, and even if you don't remember what was being said, but you felt this way, then you can lean in towards your body. You can lean in towards your little child, your inner child, and say, hey, sweet girl, hey, sweet boy, you never deserved any of this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Of course you're afraid, because if you still believe that it's simply not true. Right? And that's where we become the broken record for our inner child, and the broken record for this body that needed to hear over and over and over and over and over. I hear you, I see you, I feel you. I hear you, I see you, I feel you. I hear you, I feel you, I see you. And I am here for you, right? I'm the adult now, right? Part of changing my state, how I carry myself, is also how I fill into and become my adult self. I'm grounded. I can feel my feet on the ground. I am tall. I'm taking up space. And I tell this body, it was not your fault. It was not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You were just a little child. And I'm so, so sorry that that was done to you. Right? How do we know it's not true? Hold on. I don't remember. Because Elizabeth, right? Because if it's harmful, judgmental, mean, degrading, dismissive, right? Hurtful, then don't believe it. Do not believe it. Judgmental, critical, mean, shameful, disrespecting, any of those feelings associated with that inner language, it's a lie. It is a lie. What if I'm not ready to be the adult yet? Yep, EJ, that's sometimes the dilemma, right? We have to be willing to grow up, right? There's 3 things we need to heal. 3 things. 1, willingness. I'm willing to do the work. Because, right, we've all established no one's coming. No one's coming. You're your knight in shining armor. You're it. And inside of you, right, is that little girl or that little boy. And the truth is, no, I couldn't even save you. I couldn't even rescue you, because that wounded part inside of you, it doesn't want me to rescue you. It wants you to rescue you. It's waiting for you. But that willingness, yes, we need to be willing. And I know it sucks. It's unfair. It feels like I got hurt and I have to do the work. Right? And that's part of growing up. Right? So willingness, and like you guys have heard me say, willingness is courage under cover. Right? It takes an enormous courage to say, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm willing. I'm willing. Don't want to do that anymore. I'm willing. And I can feel my tears actually right here behind my eyeballs when I say this, because I do not take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. This is hard work. And again, that's why have a community. Do not do this alone, right? Do not try to do this alone. So, willingness to the how-tos, the steps, right? We need the information. How do I heal? I'm willing, show me how. And then the third, a safe place to practice. These three things. You keep at it, you will heal. Yes. Yes. And that's part of it, right? I'm just showing up here being my relentless self, and I'm just curious who wants to hang out, who is in. Hey Sue, hey Sue, I'm so sorry. Yes, you were just that little sweet girl. I'm so sorry. So friends, can we all drop into our hearts right here, right now, and send Sue all our love? Because we are connected. You may not think it, believe it, or feel it, but we are connected, right? When we come together, even over the internet, we are co-creating a healing space for each other. So please send Sue some love and warmth and gentle thoughts. So Sue P shared with us her comment today. She says, as a child, I was taught I should trust anyone who was older or in authority without question. But experience in various situations, including an abusive marriage, made me realize that was a mistake. And I've become wary and defensive because I've been let down and betrayed so often. I do not find it easy to trust others now. And it's made it harder to trust myself too, because I've let myself down so many times. I don't have a partner. Don't have a partner now, and maybe this is part of the reason. I hear you, friend. I hear you. But you are doing a good job. You are doing the best you can, turning over every rock, sorting out what's me, what's the past, who am I, what are my feelings, what are my boundaries, where do I trust myself, where is it that I know who I am? And I can tell you, right, isn't that what they say? It's like, speak your truth or stand up for yourselves, even if your knees are shaking and the voice is trembling the first time you do it. I've certainly have had to go through that. I've stood up to some pretty powerful people, and that was the scariest thing I've ever done. But from it, I learned something. And I learned to trust myself. And today I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve, and I know why. And just that brings a lot of peace. A lot of peace. So thank you, Sue P, for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here, Rob shared with us here today. He says, ooh, trusting is a tough word and a hard concept if you are used to being let down. And I think when I evaluate myself, I suffer from low esteem and not being worthy. So that I accept being with people who will exploit that trust. And I am too trusting, strangely, because of the low expectations that I have and low value I place on my feelings. With you, though, it's been the best thing I've learned about and nurtured more self-respect through self-compassion as we learn to appreciate the love and the connection you've facilitated. Thank you. And that's it, my friends, right? We need a safe place to practice. We need a safe place to practice, right? Like Sue S. can receive our love. She can receive our appreciation and our kindness because we don't have an agenda, Sue. We don't have an agenda. You don't have to give us anything back. And that's the hard thing too when about love and trust is that if I open up, what are they going to take from me or want from me? Yes, this is a safe place and we are giving love and kindness and warmth because we care. No attachments. We just want you to feel our love and support. You are not alone, my friend. And especially right now, my friends, this journey is hard and it's been made so much harder with so much of the uncertainty in the world. I mean, that's for so many of us, you know, triggers our bodies. It's like we are so good at figuring out what makes me feel safe. And if I can't see around that corner, or if I can't read your mind, or if I can't, you know, predict, then our mind, and especially if we are in overwhelm, right? But when we can come back into our bodies, right? Then I know how I feel, and based on how I feel, I can predict what I'm going to do today. I can predict what I need. I can predict what I need to do to take care of this body, right? So really, really simplifying things right now is okay, and it's kind of important, right? And I don't know, you know, I don't want to bring up politics or whatever, but what's going on right now in our world is just so triggering to so many people. It's just, these are not grown-ups. These are 4-year-olds, right? Having temper tantrums, and it's not fun or pretty. It's just not fun or pretty. So Lady Leah, I found that I had to be willing to take a chance on trusting. It was hard and scary, but so worth it. Yes, I hear you. I hear you, Lady Leo. Right, Sue P. Yeah, we can't plan. Yeah, I just a couple of days ago heard from family in Iceland. They're like, so when are you coming? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming or going right now. There you go, Elizabeth. Right? Trust myself to let people go if they overstep my boundaries. And here's the thing, I will give people the benefit of the doubt if they overstep my boundaries once. okay, maybe they didn't know. Like I said, I'll always give people some grace and explain. Maybe you didn't know this about me, but this is my boundary. And please don't do that again, right? This is what I need from you. Are you willing? And if they're not, then I guess we're not going to hang out. Right. And of course, the hard part with that is sometimes if those are the people that are closest to us, or we are in our family circle or units, then we kind of have to train them in a way. And that can also be hard if as we change, they may not like our changes because we were so accommodating before. And then one day we're like, you know what? I know I went along with this or agreed to this, but this isn't really working for me. This is what I need. This is, and this is why. This is important to me. Are you willing? If not, we need to either renegotiate or we're going to part our ways, or this friendship isn't going to work for me. And that's what adults do. You communicate, you negotiate, there's a give and take in a healthy relationship. But for most of us, I don't know about you, there was no give or take. It was very, right, I had to give, and then someone would just take. So no asking, no consent, so to speak, or respect of boundaries. And so Elizabeth, yeah, feeling used in some ways. So, and for a lot of us as kids, we start doing things for our parents and caregiver because we want the love, we want the appreciation, we want the validation and to be praised and feel like we, are important and of value or to our family. But after a while, we get it. As long as I'm doing something for you, you'll stick around, right? But or you'll never be happy. I can't ever do it right, or it's never going to be enough. So, all right, sweet friends. So good to be here with you guys. Like I said, I plan to be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays this next week. And like I said, I'm doing my best to be here for you guys. And looking forward to my Tuesdays are a little more freed up. Thank you, Rachel. And the card that I pulled up for us, I think we pulled this card recently, but one day she woke up and decided to simplify everything. I don't know if this is someone that you needed to hear or see, but I'm definitely simplifying lately. That's for you. All right, Lady Leo. Glad we got it for you. But have a beautiful weekend, friends. Take really good care. Do something that sparks joy, right? Get out in nature if you can. Be safe, be healthy, and stay strong. We got this. All right, sweet friends. It was Simplify. Here you go, Edge. EJ. Here you go. Simplify, simplify, simplify. All right, friends. Take good care. See you next week.